Peep the concrete chronicles, my secret origins honest. Every hustle's first appearance, putting paper on the harness. Got a super villain plot twist for the crooked politicians. Me and my crew are heroes on a whole different mission. They see the flashy jewels, that's just a secret identity. My real superpower is surviving this vicinity.
Welcome to Secret Identities podcast with your host, the tenacious T-Dubb, and I am your savvy Savage Jody. We are here to bring you news, reviews, discussion, maybe a few laughs about everything in the comics, TV, movie, and media landscape. How you doing today, T-Dubb?
Hey, what up, Savage Jody? Doing great. Been looking forward to this one after a busy week, and happy holidays to all you guys. Happy Independence Day this past Saturday, and just busy week. A lot of hot weather though. I'm glad it is starting to cool off. So yeah. So what you been up to? What's on your mind? What's on tap for you?
Did a lot of laying low. I mean, actually, I think it's hotter up there than it is down here. But
Oh yeah, brutal up here.
We had really, really severe thunderstorms, probably around 5 to 6 p.m. here, and I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't go out and do anything for the 4th. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I feel you on that. With
Jared's just keeping to himself. I'm keeping myself. Just kind of doing my thing here, I guess. But nothing exciting going on. I haven't been doing a whole lot. Playing a little Xbox. After we talked about it, I bit the bullet and I got that Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight Lego game, and I had high hopes for it. Not money well spent.
Yeah, I've heard different reviews on that.
It's my thing is always about canon, and for something that has the word legacy in the title, you'd expect it to be a whole lot more respectful to canon than it is. Honestly, it takes the worst parts of multimedia Batman and makes a story out of him. So the beginning part of the story is basically Batman Batman Begins. So you get the whole Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. Debate me on how to spell that one or how to say that one. That's a hot take.
Yeah,
it's a hot take in comics.
I've heard all the Ra's al Ghul and Ra's al Ghul and just it's
in
been
my
a lot
opinion,
with that.
there's definitely a correct way to say it, because when the character was created, he was named that because that is a phrase in Arabic. It means the head of the demon. So there should never be any debate on how to pronounce that name. But Jared and I did some research because we had a discussion on this, and it turns out that's a rabbit hole in and of itself, because the guy who named it because it's Arabic name, but when he himself says it out loud, he says it as if it's a Hebrew pronunciation.
Oh wow!
So, there's no definitive answer. Say it how you want to say it. I won't get mad at you, but I got my.
I've heard different sayings in it, in the animated series, the video games, the Arkham video games. Was Liam Neeson played him in Batman Begins, right?
And in Begins, they called him Raz, but I prefer. I think it's the animated series says Raish.
Yeah, Raish. Yeah,
and I think it's. Yeah, when you say Raz, I'm thinking of that woman from Night Court,
or Roz from Tribe.
Well, that's something to think about.
Yeah,
I'll put a picture right here.
Yeah, no, we'll be banned off the air for that picture.
It's an all ages show. I'll put a black bar over it.
Yeah, there's going to be a black section.
It's got a lot of the Burton Schumacher stuff in it, which would be okay if it was just like Easter eggs to it, but like huge story beats are coming from this. Like in the beginning of the game, Bruce Wayne's parents get killed by Jack Napier, which is obviously referencing the The why can I remember Jack Nicholson version of the Joker from the first Batman 1989 movie?
Oh yeah.
And then it just gets weird from there. So it's like the story just keeps weaving in and out of Batman Begins, the Burton films, then Dark Knight Rises stuff, and it's like, what in the heck? you know.
Yeah. It's a lot to take in.
And then, like, as a Lego game lover, the biggest disappointment is there are red bricks in the game, but red bricks just unlock more costumes, which
I heard there's a lot
of costumes in the game, like wasting like key Lego game functions on red bricks for costumes. Like what? Like if you cut out 5 costumes from the game and get what's that?
Are those costumes wearable in the game?
Yes. Now there's really technically I think 6 playable characters in the game. There's Batman, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon, Catwoman, and then weirdly, Talia al Ghul. And they have their own preset abilities. You can replay game content, but you cannot replay game content with a mix of characters that didn't belong in the episodes.
Oh,
so
wow.
If you missed content in your playthrough, it wasn't because you didn't have the character yet. It's because you missed it, and that just takes away a huge swath of replayability for me. I didn't mean to go on a tangent on this game, but like buyer beware. If you're a huge fan of, and a lot of people describe it as, oh, it's like Arkham City. Oh no, it's like it's like Batman Arkham game except as Legos. If that's your draw, play Arkham Asylum again, because it's not gonna be Arkham enough to scratch your itch. And if you're a Lego game fan, beware, because you're not gonna love it. So
yeah, it's understandable. Yeah, and most people were saying that the games have gotten so expensive. The big video game announcement this week that Sony and Xbox are going to be going away from physical media games in the next couple of years, which we knew it was coming. So I think we're at this point where I think we're already past that, because most of the games now people download them digitally, and the amount of money that you pay for that.
Even if you're buying a physical disc, most of the time the physical disc will contain like 750 megabytes, and you'll download the back half of the game
So
anyway.
yeah, and then with the big maps, and like the Grand Theft Auto 6 game being so big, that thing will be on 4 discs if you bought it physically.
Yeah, so I think people are purists. They're getting wrapped around the axle. And I used to be a purist for physical media too, because I would, when it came to my games, I was like, oh, I want to be able to have it to play offline. But once Xbox One, later PlayStation 4, a lot of those games you can't play offline anyways. It's live service games anyway. So that reason for having a physical disc is gone. And then now, I just as soon download it directly to my Xbox, because I don't have to get up and put the physical disc in. If you buy the game with the physical disc, you got to have a physical disc to play it. It's like insert play disc. But if you don't buy it with the physical disc, you just launch it right from your Xbox and go to town. So it's like no contest for me. I would just as soon leave the physical disc behind, because it serves no purpose other than gatekeeping whether you can let your friend borrow the game or not.
That's true. Yeah, I remember those times. Talking about which, with DC news, since you on it, it was revealed this week that Supergirl will be released on digital July 28th, just 1 month after its theatrical debut, which is pretty great news for those people that didn't get a chance to go see it in the theater. And with that, I think it's going to gain more popularity, because it did hit over the 100 million mark now. And I think the digital download and streaming is going to hit high numbers because of the people's curiosity from the bad reviews and the negativity, trying to make a statement for themselves or point of view. We were talking a little bit about this in the pre-show, how different people's takes on that movie, on what they are going through in their normal life. When we get into these comic book genre movies or comic books in itself in the physical media, reading these different stories and these different takes, we all have different takes in life on these movies and how they affected us, where we were in life. We can remember movies back when they came out, all the past ones, where we were at such a time in our lives, what we were going through in relationships, friendships, when your kids were born, who you saw the movie with, and how those stories and those events unfolded and how they take on us. You and I, we message daily things that's happening in this genre that we report on, and our podcast is about, and different things that affect us in good ways, bad ways, negative and positive, hilarious takes on things. So we're passing stuff on all the time, but it was a few clips that we passed between each other that maybe really sit down and think of a different point of view and how this person interpreted the film, and it opened me up. I mean, we attributed to the difference between using MapQuest and Google Maps. I mean, there's always a different route that you can take, especially when viewing something. You can take that left exit, or you can take that right exit, or you can go straight ahead, or you can turn around and go back the way you came. Sometimes, thinking through things and seeing what the big picture is, what relevance this movie has to other movies in the genre, or where its place would be. I think it's still too soon to say where you're going to place this movie, because we haven't seen what the lasting effects of this vehicle is going to be. So I say give it a chance, give it another chance if you had. Again, I've heard some positive things. I've seen some people read and listened to some people that have seen this movie 3 or 4 times now and got a different take on it than they did going into it. So July 28th, I will check it out on streaming and give it another go with the knowledge that I have now and the things that I've heard, and see what else I can bring from it, and see where it hits me.
I think it's really going to lock in with the younger people that don't go to movies, and I think that was one of the. I think that movie had a voice that was for younger people, and those younger people just don't. Movies aren't a part of their plan for anything, and that's the problem with movies. Movies aren't relevant to them, and they're the generation with the money, that with the spending capital. So, but I mark my words. I said it before when we did it. I said that you're going to see on social media, you're going to see that movie. You're going to see some cryptic reference to guns bomb, box office bomb finds new life on streaming services. You're gonna see people. I mean, first, when it comes to streaming services, people are a lot less critical when something goes to their streaming service, I find, because you'll have like things that are abundantly positive, because people have this like fallacy of, well, I got it for free. That was pretty good for free. No, you paid a monthly subscription to watch that movie. So, but if you go back and you watch things that were universally panned in the theater, get overwhelmingly positive marks on streaming services. So, and like I said, I acknowledge at the time it has problems. There's no getting around the fact that it has problems. But I think the younger audience might get a hold of it and like it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anxious are waiting to see that. Some news that you might be excited about. Creature Commandos season 2. They've been talking about that this week.
Yeah, Robot was right.
what was right about it?
I bought Jared a whole bunch of shirts. Jared fell in love with the character G.I. Robot. You haven't seen that show yet, Tilly. You got to do your homework.
I gotta do my research and check it out. I definitely do. It was announced this week that Creature Commandos 2, slated for 2027 next year, expands to 10 episodes, up from season 1, 7 episodes. The showrunner, Dean Laurie, confirms. Laurie says that G.I. Robot gets a massive story this season, his favorite ever, and adds that David Harbour is hilarious in season 2. So
David Harbour is the voice for Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
I've seen the first couple
Gunn
episodes.
was so clever. Gunn was so clever when he picked, because he chose everyone on the show that they would fit their live action character if they cast them. So they're not just voice actors; they're potentially going to be DCU characters on the screen as well. So David Harbour as Frankenstein, you can picture it if you squint. Now, I love the show. I think that Frankenstein in the comics has a little bit more cool factor than he does in the show. They play him kind of almost for jokes on the show, and I don't love it. But everything else about the show is good, and everything doesn't have to be the way I like it to be. So,
that looks like it's going to be really good. Some kind of still in the comic genre. The long-awaited Legend of the White Dragon movie has been given an actual theater date. Be August 28th, which is actually Power Rangers Day. For those of you who don't know, Legend of the White Dragon has been in the making for a couple of years now. It stars Jason David Frank, who played the Green and White Ranger, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, and this will be his last starring role. It's an off play of Power Rangers, setting in its own world in a Power Ranger-esque type of world. And Jason David Frank actually plays the White Dragon. So movie and merchandise coming. I think some people were batting the sun had something to do with it. The producers for that, you guys know that they're the ones that do the fan-made Red Hood, Nightwing, and Batman movies that come out. And also
David Ramsey,
who plays Diggle in the Arrow in the CW universe of shows, is actually going to be starring in it as well. So very much looking forward to that. Shout out to my younger brother Nicholas, who's a big Power Rangers fan. I'll probably be checking it out with him because he was a big fan, and some good memories there. Rest in peace to Jason David Frank, who's a huge part of that Power Rangers universe. Gone too soon, but I'm hearing great things about this movie. So very interested to see where it goes and what role it plays in the universe. So I'm going to check that out. A lot of stuff still working. We're heading straight forward to San Diego Comic-Con in a couple of weeks. So a lot of rumblings coming, a lot of big news going to be in comics, comic book animation, comic book movies. There's a rumor, and this will actually segue before we get into this theme of this episode with the X-Men 97 Season 2 premiere that premiered this past Wednesday. There's a rumor that Avengers Doomsday may be moved up a week to December 11th instead of December 18th, just so it has more time in IMAX. But segueing into that, Jody has a little bit of a story or expose on how Disney is approaching the campaign.
Let me put that at the end because I got something to say about it. I don't want to derail the news. So if we got other news.
No, that's fine. You could do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we could do that. But I thought it'd be interested to do that. But any account, those are some big things coming this way. We have I think they're saving this for San Diego Comic-Con, but the writer Scott Snyder, who is the writer and the creator of the Absolute Universe with DC, he at MegaCon in Florida a couple of months ago, he kind of let slip that him and Greg Capullo, his main artist, are working on something secret. But another rumor was partially confirmed that superstar artist Greg Capullo may as well be drawing the issue 25 for Absolute Batman. So great news on that to see his rendition. If any of you guys seen the Court of Owls story, the Batman New 52, Batman Last Night, Dark Knight's Metal, Dark Knight's Death Metal, Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder, they're a tandem to be reckoned with. So always something exciting going on. I think it'll be a very much needed break for Dragata, who usually draws Absolute Batman. That's doing a phenomenal job on that book, art wise, kind of mixing in the American themes with the comics with the manga style. And it's larger than life. I mean, drawing that big 6'7" Batman looks great. So very anxious to see what Mr. Greg Capullo may or may not be doing with this character. So looking out. Issue 22 hit stands Wednesday, and it's going to be debuting the Absolute Harlequin in this issue. So going to be checking that out as well and let you guys know on that. With our theme following with the X-Men 97, John Byrne released a X-Men Elsewhen book. It's a graphic novel that's supposed to take place after his groundbreaking Dark Phoenix saga when he left Marvel way back in the day. It's brand new X-Men story that he had worked on years, and they're collecting it in hardcover. It's exclusive through Midtown Comics. It is actually sponsored by Marvel Disney, which was news to me until Jody and I did some research on that. So, guys, look that up online. Check it out. Let us know what you think about it. A lot of big fans about John Byrne being one of the huge artists to ever work on X-Men. They actually have an artist edition dedicated to him as well. I have the Jim Lee version. I have a friend that has the John Byrne version. So some really good stuff there if you're a fan of the old 80s and 90s X-Men. So check it out. Check it out. I think that's about it on our news roundup.
Right.
So getting into this week's episode, we're going to be shedding a little.
Avengers talk. Remember?
Oh, you want to do? Oh, you meant at the end of this segment?
At the end of the news,
okay.
Yeah. Not at the end of the episode. No, I didn't want to derail the rest. I didn't want to derail the rest of the news with me complaining about this. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, for those of you that might not know, in advance of the Avengers Endgame movie coming out, Marvel Disney is doing a re-release of. I'm sorry. In advance of Marvel,
you have to switch
Avengers Doomsday.
Doomsday. Yeah.
Marvel Disney is doing a re-release of Avengers Endgame. Now, this is going to have some new stuff in it. Re-release details the theatrical run is being used by Marvel Studios to lay the narrative groundwork for the upcoming Phase 6 films, with director Joe and Anthony Russo stating that the new footage critically important to the Avengers Doomsday plot that will re-release feature custom introduction, a redesigned Marvel Studios open connected with the current cinematic timeline, never before seen footage, fresh scenes integrated into the film to recontextualize the events of setting up Victor Von Doom, and special post-credit scenes with an exclusive end tag and connective tissue leading to the next crossover event. So,
wow.
Is that interesting? Yes, that's interesting. It is equally annoying to me because number one, they're reselling you the same crap. They're putting it back in theaters, and they're giving you a couple extra scenes. If you were going to do this as I'm selling you a DVD or I'm putting on Disney Plus with the new content, then absolutely. But driving people into the theaters for this is kind of obnoxious to me. We're not talking about a 10-year anniversary. We're not talking about a 20-year anniversary. You're not taking a walk down memory lane watching this movie again. You're going into this movie for less than 20 minutes worth of an extra footage. That's one problem. Number two, Marvel, we always have a plan, is now re-engineering a movie that meant something when they made it to work around their last-ditch effort nostalgia move to bring Robert Downey Jr. back into the universe to shore up the problems that they made for themselves in Phase. It says Phase 6, but when did we skip over Phase 5? Because as far as I knew, Phase 4 is where the thing stumbled. So it just kind of blurred together because they slipped on Phase 4 and it fell through Phase 5. So we're going to be in Phase 6.
Yeah, that's a little weird. The timing on it. I mean, yeah, I understand from a money point of view. They're trying to, set themselves up correctly. But I really don't think I kind of agree. I mostly agree with you. It's not needed to do so. I mean, if in the old days when they were going to come out with something new, like a sequel, and it's been a gap of time between the last one and this one, they used to do a special Friday night CBS special where it covered it and showed clips of that and put it on regular TV. Well, guess what, guys? You guys got a whole Disney app where you have actual shows where you've done recaps or roundups or a review or the march to this Marvel movie and this Marvel movie. Why not put something together like a documentary and show those exclusive and drop them the Friday before the movie debuts? Because guess what? It'll drive traffic to the streaming app. It'll do an insane amount of numbers if you're putting exclusive trailers and innuendo in there, and you can drive people through the theaters that way. I mean, market yourself. Don't oversaturate.
Hot take: you don't get do-overs when it comes to movies. The movie you release is the movie you released. You want to if there's an alternate ending or some footage that was left out and want to get reintegrated into the movie years later, but not something that's going to change the film. That stuff that ends up on the back matter of DVDs, Blu-ray collections, stuff like that. It's not you. So the people that are dedicated, the people that are shills for this, are going to go see this, and they're going to go see it. They're going to spend their money, and they're going to go see 20 more minutes of movie, if that, probably, and an already pretty bloated, long-ass movie to begin with. But the people that aren't going to see this, remember when Marvel said every movie shouldn't be dependent on the other movie? Everybody should be able to sit down in every movie like they've never seen the other ones. Well, if that philosophy really hold true, why the hell do you have to change this movie to make your next movie make sense?
Yeah, that's true.
Do more better. Stop trying to change things. We always have a plan has always been a lie, but this is the most egregious example of that. And it's money grubbing, and it's gross, and it just goes to show that they didn't have a plan. They had no idea, but they thought, oh, you know what? We're failing because we're not doing good movies anymore. We're doing ham-fisted, social justice warrior stuff dressed up as superhero, an attempt to get your girlfriend and your mom to like comic book movies instead of you. They stopped marketing to you. They started marketing to your girlfriend because they knew they had your money. And now they tried to get you back by bringing back the thing that you liked, except you're probably not going to like the way they brought it back. I'm sure. You're hoping to get RDJ back. RDJ is an actor. You have to remember, anyone that pretends for a living to be somebody else doesn't want to keep playing the same character movie after movie after movie. So he's going to come in, he's going to do Victor Von Doom, but you're probably not going to recognize Tony Stark in it. He probably would not have taken the job if it was coming back for Tony Stark, unless they dumped a damn truckload of money at his feet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the peril when it comes to these long franchise characters. Not everybody's a Hugh Jackman that's saying, hey, as long as they let me do it, I'm going to keep being Wolverine. So, but this is hugely problematic for me. And honestly, I'm kind of between a rock and a hard place, because I kind of feel like to be the person I am to everybody I know, I have to see it, but I almost want to not see it because Screw them, because it's terrible. Yeah. I just name another movie that you would be okay with them adding new footage and recontextualizing the whole film to change it, what it's about.
Supergirl.
I'm saying name a classic movie. Name a movie like Blade Runner, like Forrest Gump. What if they went back and they added in where like Ginny really did give Forrest Gump AIDS? It's like
yeah, that's yeah. You just, it's so hard to be able to do that.
I mean, it's just the fact that not everybody's going to go back to see this new edition of the movie, but they say pretty plainly that this recontextualizes what happens in that movie to make it work better for the next movie. You're changing that movie. You're putting something in there that's going to make something that happens in that movie. And you know what? If it's anything like the rumors that I've been hearing online from the fanboy speculation about who Tony Stark's real parents are, they've totally lost me. If they say anything close to this nonsense I'm hearing online about how when Tony went back in time and met his dad, he was surprised because his dad didn't get his birthday right. That's not what happened in that scene at all. That scene, that movie, Avengers Endgame, the overarching point was Tony Stark as a dad. And if you go back to Iron Man 2, when he's having his crisis because he's got palladium poisoning going on, he's sitting with Nick Fury, the good Nick Fury.
Oh, Nick Fury. Oh, yeah,
the good Nick Fury.
Oh, yeah.
he's sitting with the good Nick Fury in the diner, and he basically says something about he was a problem his dad couldn't solve, so his dad wasn't interested. In that moment, he's surprised by the fact that his dad cared so much about his birth, not because he got his birthday wrong. Anybody that watches that movie and takes this takeaway, and that's important to that movie, because everything he was doing was about being a dad, about saving his kid. The reason they had to time travel and do the things that they did is because he was uncompromisingly not going to allow them to change the fact that he had a kid. So I done got upset.
No, you switched places. You like I was, how passionate I was about Supergirl, trying to make my point. But no, you had a lot of good hot takes there on that, and I think sometimes we're set aback because there's so many points that these movies made, whether they were planned or not. It's almost impossible because there's such a huge number of these moments in movies that when you get to the newest movie, and it's such a huge playing field, how they have this whole the first big question or thought on people's minds going into Doomsday, excuse me, is this character of Dr. Doom played by Robert Downey Jr., formerly Tony Stark, Tony Stank, Iron Man. And that people have questions. And it's not the old fan mail type of things in the Marvel bullpen where they're getting tons and tons of mail. Hey, we got another Dr. Doom, why is Iron Man Dr. Doom mail here? And another 2,000 letters, and somebody's on a typewriter typing this up that's going the next issue of Avengers. There's a lot that they want them, and just like you pointed out, I think a lot of people forgot about that. I forgot about it when you just brought it up and go, you know what? That's right. You did your homework. That did happen, and for them to be able to play out this new arc and where it's going in from Doomsday to the movies and shows in between, and then pick up a year later with Secret War. There's some things that have to happen. There's some things that they need you to remember that happened, and some things they don't want you to remember that happened.
Right. And it sounds like they're literally going to hollow out the emotional core of this movie.
They dug their hole. Yeah, now they gotta. Yeah,
exactly.
Same thing with Spider-Man. I seen a post today, and we're in the same universe, so it's okay for us to jump around this multiverse that they have going on. There's I believe, 9 sets of villains, 9 villains for the Spider-Man movie. Only 7 of them have been named. 2 are still hidden. So again, getting all this stuff, all the Sony Fox characters that they created in the Marvel movies that are supposed to be part of these next 2 movies. They got a lot of explaining to do, Lucy. So just, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as a fanboy, don't get me wrong. I'm just reporting it, and I want to hear feedback from our viewers and start these big conversations. So so people ask us, let's see what these guys are talking about.
Yeah, I would love to hear.
I could talk about this stuff all night.
Remember, if you want to contact us, you can reach us by email. secretidentitiesmedia@gmail.com. Contact at secret-identities.com. Or on any of our socials, secret_identities_media on Instagram, sec_ident_media on X Twitter, secret_identities_pod on TikTok, or just search Secret Identities on Facebook. You can find links for these in the show notes wherever you found us, on the title card at the end of the show, or just scan the QR code on your screen for our link tree.
Yeah, I tell me what you think is going, what you think is going to happen.
So
but because they
is
got
that
a lot
one you're
to
gonna be on opening night for, or are you gonna have to drag your feet to go see that one?
What, Doomsday?
Yeah. No. The re-release.
Oh, the re-release? Nah, no. I don't know if I would want to go to the theater. It depends on when are they saying it's going to be released. Is it before December? When are they talking about this being released?
Let's see. I did not get that detail. Let's see. Let's see.
Because it
says Marvel is utilizing in-game re-release and refresh. Okay. Established that Doomsday acts as a direct continuation. This return to the big screen serves as a bridge for giving fans a glimpse to the story in December 2018. Now, let's see. It says September 25th, theatrical re-release.
Oh, dang. That's still a few months before.
Not to mention the fact they're dropping it in the middle of a superhero movie cluster F, because I remember when we did our roadmap, like, there's tons of stuff coming, like, between TV and movies and everything else, like, for the first 6 months.
That's weird, but I mean, we'll see. I'll probably check it out and give it a watch and see how it flows.
Man, I'm so torn because I want to just say F it, but I can't sit here on the podcast and not go. If they do what the fanboys are speculating, I'm gonna be throwing popcorn, man. I'm gonna be like throwing popcorn.
I'm gonna throw some popcorn.
I'm gonna be like, boo.
Boo. Yeah.
I've always been annoyed with we totally have a plan. When if you watch all the after credit scenes all lined up, you could tell there was no GD plan. But at least then they were just like hoping you forgot, not rewriting the movie that you already saw. And man, it's just egregious. Yeah. And the emotional beat of that movie, man. Like, when you saw that movie, when you watched Infinity War and you watch those people get dusted, like people were like speechless coming out of that movie. They're like, wait.
Oh yeah, I did like that. I didn't mind that.
I don't mind that at all. But when Tony,
the whole thing. Go ahead.
When Tony sacrificed himself at the end of Endgame, you're like, damn, like, he did that. And like, I was holding on, and then John Favreau's he's at the funeral, and he asked his daughter, like, I mean, this movie's about the daughter and the dad, and he asked the daughter, hey, are you hungry? And she's like, yeah. What do you want? Cheeseburgers. Gives you a throwback to Iron Man 1 when he got back from. I'm like, oh my god, like, yeah. I am not a crying man, but if I was going to cry, it was going to be to that.
Well, that expression and those emotions that they recorded Tom Holland, they told him, wasn't he at the funeral? No, he turned to dust, didn't he?
No, he was there. He was there. Yeah.
Oh, well, they told him that in real life that it was a wedding. So because he was in that mood where he kept saying stuff
Right.
on
Right.
talk
Yeah.
shows that he wasn't supposed to say. So when they sent him the script, they changed it and put that it was a wedding. So when he got there on set, he's like, "What?"
Yeah, like everybody was
yeah.
in that scene. Even there's one dude. Everybody's like, "Who the hell is that kid? Who's that? Who's that guy?" It turns
Yeah.
out it was the kid from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
The kid. Yeah. Yeah. So like they had a good memory when they made that movie. Apparently, they don't have a good memory when they're re-releasing this movie. So, yeah, I'm torn because I cry foul on that. You get one chance to make a movie, you don't get do-overs. It's not fair to the people that haven't seen the movie. It's not fair to the people that are going to spend money on any shrink-wrapped piece of turd that you send at them. That it's predatory, and it's like you just they better deliver. They better deliver on this Phase 6 because you make your fans spend money over again to watch something and you change it in a way they don't like it, and then you hand them a pile of garbage like you did with Phase 3 and Phase 4. You got some problems. Or 4 and 5. 4 or 5 apparently.
Yeah. I liked I liked the stuff with going to see Infinity War, and then the gap of time with the 1 year to the date for Endgame.
I think that gap was too long. I think they should have been 6 months. I think if
that's true.
If they did 6 months for that movie, I think you could have kept it in theaters the whole 6. I think the movie theaters would have kept that around because they would have by the time it started petering out, it would have been time to refresh your memory on the movie that you just saw, and I mean, like I said, even I'm not saying consistently everything that came out since Doomsday, since Endgame and Infinity War was bad, but it seems like they spent more time trying to pretend that they were outsmarting you by giving you, you know what, you like that, you'll like this better.
Yeah.
While quietly not saying, but this really markets better with a demographic that's not you, and it saves us a whole lot of money. And people felt that.
I can see
people
that.
felt that in a huge way. It's like, and I hot take, I really don't like what they do with Black Panther 2 for a lot of reasons. First off, Namor. I'll get into that discussion when we do a review of Black Panther 2. But I think they marketed way too much on Chadwick Boseman's death. And it would have been one thing to pay respect to the man. But I don't feel like they were doing that. I kind of feel like they were exploiting his passing in that movie in a huge way. I don't feel like it was doing service to him at all. I think they were using it as a mechanism. And I feel like the story was unearned. Shuri did not deserve that suit. You didn't have to have a Black Panther. Shuri could have been what she is in the comic books, which is, if I'm not mistaken, White Panther. You could have had M'Baku step up and do the job. I mean, I would see it. I would pay for an M'Baku movie in a minute, dude. That guy is so hilarious in that movie, and I love that dude as an actor from Person of Interest and stuff like that. You could have. It's called Wakanda Forever. It didn't have to be the road to the next Black Panther. Somebody's going to step in his shoes. It could have been, this is what the world does when there is no Black Panther. We have all this stuff happen. You have White Panther, you have M'Baku, you have all these other characters. You have the Dora Milaje acting as superheroes.
I think the whole reason for part 3, after seeing that excerpt again of Chadwick Boseman's speech, where he was thanking Denzel Washington for paying for his acting school, without saying so far, because they're not allowed to disclose that so early on in the process, because they're starting a production on that Denzel is in Black Panther 3 because of that relationship and the situation that happened. I think it's going to be a love letter in his own way of acting for whatever character that he's portraying and what it's going on. I think he wouldn't have turned down that role if it had not been for uh, his friendship with them. So I am looking forward to that part. Don't know what's going on as far as I heard they're going to be introducing who is it they're going to be introducing? It was a rumor that came out this week. Yeah, there's I thought I read Storm.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that.
I want to say,
but let me stop the presses again. See, now this is going to irk me too, because it's been confirmed that the redhead from Stranger Things is going to be playing Jean Grey in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And now you've got Storm is going to be in the Black Panther movie. Okay, no foul there, no problem. But Marvel has already announced that after Endgame, or after Doomsday. Wait, what's the one that's after Doomsday? After Secret Wars. After Secret Wars, there's a speculation. The Russo brothers actually said they might actually have a third film after Secret Wars. But
I heard that too. Yeah.
But with the current arc, after those movies, after the next 2 or 3 Avengers movies, they've already acknowledged they're completely resetting the universe, recasting every character. So why are we introducing X-Men at this point? Why are you bringing X-Men? I mean, it's one thing if you're bringing them in the Easter eggs like you're seeing with Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart and all the folks from the other game, like from the other movies. If you're bringing them in a multiversal aspect, that's getting old too, mind you. But it's one thing if you're bringing them in to pay homage to those movies and bringing these old characters in to fill out your roster. I feel like they're doing it too much. I think they're doing it a lot for nostalgia factor, not because it serves a story. This looks like it might be different because you see we got an early spoil on our Scott Summers goes ballistic moment when Jean dies.
James Marsters.
But Fromke Jansen, I just saw an interview with Fromke Jansen, said under no circumstances would she even come back. So how are you going to have a Scott Summers goes ballistic moment when the girl who plays Jean Grey isn't coming back? My understanding is he's holding Jean in that scene, but he's not. Fromke Jansen said, "Nope, not coming." She's in a whole different place in her career now.
They said they didn't ask. She said that they didn't ask her, and it's probably because she's a lot older now.
She said
they're going with a different.
They didn't ask her, but in that same interview, she says, "I'm in a completely different place in my career now. I would not." And honestly, I shouldn't say that.
But remember, she was replaced already because they came out with a whole Dark Phoenix movie after X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, but that was the
girl from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that was in the
Foxyverse.
The First Class. It's in the First Class timeline. So
that
makes sense. But you got James Marsden's Cyclops. He ain't gonna be holding Game of what the heck's her name? Emma.
The girl from Game of Thrones. I know who you're talking about.
I know. Sansa Stark. I'll remember her name when we're off. But Fromke Jansen does not look like she could play the heroine to a movie these days.
No.
She looked like she could play the heroine in a movie these days.
No.
I don't know what's going on with her. Like, I don't know if it's like plastic surgery or something she's been doing to herself, but like back in the day, she was a decent looking woman, but like these days, it's like distracting.
Yeah. But yeah, whatever they go, which way they go, I've been told everybody's in a younger class. or they're going with the younger version of these X-Men. So I mean, we'll wait to see what's on that.
But I
But
don't understand
I
what's the point in doing what they're doing and integrating X-Men into this stuff if they're not gonna, you know, what's the point in integrating X-Men into this stuff if they're gonna hit the reset button anyways? It's like,
well, no, that's what I think. The X-Men they already started rolling the ball. They've casted the X-Men. They know who they
okay,
want to
but
play these roles.
that's my problem
Yeah.
though. You're talking about how long is it going to take to get 3 Avengers movies out? At least 3 years, probably more, because you know they're not all done yet. So even if it's only 2, so you're casting kids, young adults as X-Men now. You're peppering them through these movies as their characters, and then you're going to hit the reset button and throw them all away again? Or are they going to get carried over into the next movie? And in that case, now it's even weirder. Now it's even weirder, though, because now you hit the reset button on the stuff we liked because they were too expensive for you, but you gave me these kids. I don't care about these kids. I don't care about the X-Men that much. So, like...
But I mean, they got to build it somewhere. They're not just to get. I mean, they're looking to fail if they just cast a bunch of people that's going to be X-Men and say we got an X-Men movie coming. They've got to. I mean, it's almost like they're picking spots to debut this cast for the X-Men, sprinkling them throughout the movie and bringing whatever it is they're bringing in this style of X-Men for this generation. And because I mean, we already all the X-Men from all those movies, they've all gotten older. I mean, people forget that franchise started 27 years ago, 1999.
I'm not saying to bring back the old people. I'm just saying why cast new people if you're going to throw away all that stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think they are. I think they are bringing these people. These are your X-Men. These are going to be your X-Men.
So you're going to bring you're going to bring in
the storm
X-Men,
that they're bringing in,
integrate them into the MCU, hit the reset button on the MCU, but keep the X-Men. What?
They're going to keep the X-Men. The plan all along that I've been hearing is that the original casted Avengers are all going to be gone. They're all going to have.
I mean, that's my point, Kelly. How are you going to flush the toilet on what you've been building for 20 years and then keep the guys that are brand new, which makes sense, if you didn't have them integrate into the MCU? So you're going to take X-Men, cast them, put them into your movie, then kill everybody else out and then keep the new guys you cast? Like, what is, like,
yeah.
Come on, man.
That's professional wresling. That's professional wrestling.
No,
that's wrestling entertainment. Yes, the way they do it now. They use the older, like those old X-Men and all and they groom the new ones, and then they put them over. But
they're not recasting Hulk Hogan, Telly. They're bringing in the old characters. They're bringing in the old characters as a draw. But we're talking about a situation where they're going to bring in new characters, flush the toilet on the characters you know, and then recast the old characters that you knew with new people now.
100%.
Complete restart. So, like, it's a restart or it's not a restart. See,
because the big picture that everybody isn't seeing is that what Marvel is doing is that eventually what this is going to phase out to be past Secret War, there's going to be that. Now, I'm not 100% certain they're going to do this, but they had a sense of time, a time frame in comics where the old Avengers went away and they had the young Avengers with younger characters
of that. We're talking about a new Captain America. We're talking about a new Iron Man. We're talking not a new guy in the suit. We're talking about a new Tony Stank. We're talking about they didn't do that in the comic books. They brought in a new guy. They brought in Rhodey in the Iron Man costume.
Everything I'm reading right now, that's what it's looking like it's going to be. It doesn't sound good at all, but that when this old guard gets flushed and these new actors in new types of Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man come out, they're going to have the new X-Men. And I didn't get to finish where they're going with this. the end game, the real end game, because they need to carry on the next phases. They after Secret War, like you said, there's a new beginning. They have no more stories to tell up to this point. You know where they're heading? That crossover they did that didn't amount to anything a couple years ago in the comics. They're going for Avengers versus X-Men. That's what you're going to see in the theater. So. There is going to be a movie called Avengers versus X-Men, and they're going to have both franchises. That's all they got. They're not going to do ultimate versions of these characters in the movies.
I don't think so. And you know what they're actually doing? They're letting financial decisions change story decisions.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like it at all either. But
it's garbage, and that means that they're going to take a dump in a box and they're going to sell it to you and tell you it's good, just like they have with Phase 4 or 5. And
Avengers, it's going to lead to Avengers versus X-Men, and that new telling of X-Men on whatever we call it, whoever your Professor X and Magneto is, and whoever your Storm is that's going to be in Black Panther, your Jean Grey that's going to be in Spider-Man, they're going to put Cyclops out there somewhere. They're going to put well, you already said Jean Grey, Storm. There's going to be a new Beast. There's not going to be a new Wolverine because evidently Hugh Jackman, they signed him until he's 90, so to speak.
I mean,
and it's almost like that's going to be.
Could you be more inconsistent? Not you, but Marvel.
That's man. What it is to me.
Okay, you know what? We really belabored this point. We're at the 55-minute mark. We haven't even touched X-Men.
We're good. We're good. This all leading into that because we're talking X-Men. We're talking about the downfall of the Marvel universe.
Oh man,
cinematic universe.
I mean, the inconsistency is really destroying me, man. Like it's really destroying me, and it's really just we didn't want to keep paying those actors, but then when the movies failed because of it, they're like, oh, get RDJ back. He's not going to do it. He won't come back because he's tired of playing Tony Stark. Oh, we'll make him Dr. Doom. And we'll try to make that work. We're going to put 20 minutes extra movie in our old movie to make it seem like that makes effing sense. No, it doesn't make sense. And in this multiversal saga BS to excuse everything. Like, look, I watched 3 years of this on the CW. And when one dude that looks like Superman comes in the room and he's like, hey, I'm Superman. Hey, I'm Superman too. Like how's that work in a multiverse? You're Kal-El in all the universes. You don't look like different people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where it's going with the Marvel universe, cinematic universe, and where it's going, because I still don't understand the story points that people are talking about that were leaked, so to speak. The stuff where they're talking about this battle world situation, and none of that stuff was even part of the real Secret War. I think it was you I was talking to, or somebody else in the comment shop.
The nerd speculation is that the Russo brothers. It's Russo, right?
Yeah, Russo.
I thought Russo's the guys from the Matrix.
Russo.
No, it's Joe and Anthony Russo. It says the Russo brothers are basically ripping off Hickman's runs on the Avengers for the story. So they expect Doomsday to basically put a kibosh on the universe, and then I guess they expect the Secret Wars movie to be accommodate the new Secret Wars, not the old one we remember when we were kids, but the one where Dr. Doom got control of the Marvel universe and he like recreated it in like a Game of Thrones-esque kind of like universe where like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four was the Source Wall, and Venom was the White Walkers. The symbiotes were like the White Walkers outside of it. Man, if that makes it to film, like I don't care how great it was in comics. It's not. It's gonna be like people are gonna be like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. Like the roadmap for everything, it doesn't make sense at all. I don't know what to expect. I'm excited for a few things on seeing who meets who on screen. Um, I I wished earlier on we would have got to see, uh, you know, Hugh Jackman interact with the Hulk, Hugh Jackman interact with Tony Stark, Iron Man, and Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, Cap, and so on and so forth earlier in those. But I mean, the X-Men movies were and they were separated, and I think, and we're going to talk about this getting into our focus for this episode of the podcast when we get into the relevancy and what we liked and didn't like about the X-Men movies in relation to the cartoon and the comic books, all three. But there's some things that I'm excited about seeing that's going to be happening in these two movies, and I'm talking about Doomsday and Secret Wars. From what I'm hearing and all the leaks and speculation and fanboy theories, nerd theories, whatever you want to call them, comic book geek theories, the majority of it, I think, is just speculation. And I heard this and I heard that. And I think a lot of it is coming from the actual studio involved to confuse people. A lot of it doesn't make sense.
Here's the problem with that, Telly. Marvel has a history of going to set with the movie that's not fully written. And in the run up to Infinity War, everybody was like, "Hey, what are the Infinity Stones? How can we have Infinity War with no Infinity Stones?" And people were speculating online. Well, what? Maybe the Tesseract was an Infinity Stone, and then like this was Infinity Stone, that was Infinity Stone. So we might know what Infinity Stones are, and then James Gunn apparently came in and was like, "Well, these are the Infinity Stones," but that does not mean they didn't farm message boards for that and let fanboys write those points and just stole them to make their convenient answer for the movie. But you can't tell me that they intended for the Tesseract to be a damn Infinity Stone in that movie universe. There's another example of we have a plan. No, you don't have a
plan. That's just poor.
So like plan. George Lucas, I feel when he did the Star Wars prequels, they're farming fanboy takes on how this could work to prop up their. We just brought RDJ back because we want the fan loyalty back. So the things that those fanboys are saying could very well end in the movie because they might be like looking at Reddit going, "Ooh, that's an idea. We could write that in there, or we could write that in there." So I wouldn't dismiss all that speculation because I think that the choice to bring RDJ back was completely a last-ditch effort to bring back movies because they started delivering you half-baked ones. And they still didn't have a good idea. They didn't say, "We have the purpose-scripted mind for RDJ. We're going to ask him to come back for this." They were scrambling to get him back, and it was like, "We'll figure it out. Just give him the money." So, in absence of a clear plan of what to do, and when you're refilming your film to make it make sense, you don't know what you're doing, then you might get some of those fanboy theories creeping into your actual movie. So I don't think you can dismiss them at all.
True.
But those fanboy movies, in my opinion, rip the heart out of that movie. Remember, I'm not just a Marvel hater. Like I will challenge some of the stuff that they've done in the most recent years, but I'm not a hater on that film. I think that film was very well done. There's one or two scenes that I could do without, but we can talk about that when we do a review of that movie.
Yeah, no, true. So, with that being said, thanks for bringing that to point though. With
yeah, I had no idea it was going to become that big a discussion, but I feel like that discussion needs to be had by the fans, by I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to focus a little bit on the X-Men '97 season 2 premiere that we had this past Wednesday. Marvel Disney dropped the first 3 episodes of 9 for the season 2 premiere on Wednesday. New episodes will be every Wednesday night. So the first 3 episodes dropped, and they were, to me, I was pretty excited about it, hearing the things that I heard going into this. I kind of recapped last season, went through a few episodes, especially the finale, uh, because I felt the finale last year was a little rushed. They kind of threw everything in the phone book at you right in a 30-minute window. And I thought it was a lot that they were probably going to need to unpack in this first episode. And I figured that it was purposely done where the first episode was kind of a recap, rehash, where are we now from the last season's episode finale, and then them giving you a two-parter for episode 3 and then 4, leaving you hanging with that. But the first thing I want to point out that I really like is how crisp the animation is, compared to the original X-Men that aired years ago, almost 30 years now. Even then, I thought the animation was a step up between now and then, especially with the not spoiling anything with the episode, but the power signatures, the set pieces, the fight scenes. I thought they were really well done. Even the not spoiling anything until we get into it, but the theme and how they incorporated that into one of the surprises in the second episode. So that being said, overall, I enjoyed the 3 episodes. I thought it was a treat. I want to say the second episode is the one that did it for me out of the 3. I thought that was the best, closely with the first episode. And I thought the last episode had a nice fight scene, but it kind of wasn't as exciting as the second and the first episodes, if I could say that much. But I'll get more into what excited me about that second episode once we go on. But I thought the voice actors did a phenomenal job as usual. I thought it could use a little bit of boost in the character choices in some of the situations, especially the main villain. I got some quips about that, and we'll talk about how that relates to the live action movies in the comics as well, and that whole interpolation. So, what are your thoughts, Jody?
We're about to have a Supergirl
Ah.
moment.
No.
I watched these 3 episodes on television in air conditioning. So I've said something good about it. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. If I had to say something good about this show, is they go for it with how deep bench they are with the characters that they bring in. Like, yeah. There are not many shows that are willing to bring in as many characters as they bring into this show at the risk of alienating the audience. Because it really shows you the depth of how big the mutant world is with all the characters, and they don't stop to explain. They don't explain who's who, and there should be an all mutant episode of Jerry Springer if you really understood who's brothers and sisters and dads and mothers and his stepdads and and all that. I used to have an ex-girlfriend that I would joke about it with, because I would sit down and I would explain to her the intermarriages and offspring of the ex people and how ridiculous that is. So my good thing is how wide a variety of characters it has. The bad thing for me is they do nothing with those characters. There is absolutely no depth to those relationships. And it's not because it's an ensemble cast. It's because they're just relying on fans to be happy that they saw Havoc on a cartoon, that without actually doing any of the work. And I feel like this is Goyerism at its finest, because they've cherry picked these moments from like phenomenal X-Men Claremont X-Men runs, the Fatal Attractions runs, all of these runs for both season 1 and 2. At least the original X-Men 94 was their best approximation of X-Men on a kid's cartoon. There is no governor on the show. There is nothing stopping them from telling a really good, really in-depth story and taking their time and making this the best thing it can be. But what we really do is we have these soundbite moments from the comics stitched together in this weird pastiche of, okay, this is the show we're giving you, but without any context to those moments, without any real gravitas to those moments. Like, you see Wolverine with bone claws, right? Well, you're like,
Yeah.
huh? Like what? Like, what's happening on this show? So, like, I'm seeing Forge in a comic book, right? I mean, in a comic book show. So I'm like, that's really crazy. I never thought I'd see that. But at the same time, they're delivering nothing with the relationships on the show, delivering nothing with the stories that they're cherry picking from. Like, Wolverine losing his adamantium, huge moment. Like, Genosha stuff, huge stuff. Like, constituting a year or years worth of comic books, and you're getting this on like shuffle with the show, paying no real context to any of those, making it worthwhile. And I don't think you have to go in depth, but don't steal all these moments and do nothing with them. Stand on your own 2 feet and make your own show if you're going to make your own show, right? So if they want to tell the story of Apocalypse, there's a perfectly good X Factor storyline they could borrow from. They put X Factor in the show, but like, to simultaneously be telling the story of Cable and X Factor and X-Men, and then generations of Apocalypse in 3 episodes, that could have been 2 seasons, dude. Like, what?
Yeah, yeah, so, I can understand that. It feels like a battle royal going on, and
but with no battling. The only thing of battling is IP. There is no battling. There's fights. I mean, there's a really long fight with, of all people, Jubilee. Well, I was like, holy crap, they gave Jubilee cool factor. But where's Wolverine? Where's Havoc, other than an interrogation room? Like, so, like, they have all these characters, but they've done nothing with them. And they have all these stories. And I got something to say about all of those stories too, but I don't want to spoil it in this part of it. So is it good? I would say at best a 6. Like, it's really cool to see all that stuff on screen, but would I be like clamoring to watch the next episode if I wasn't watching it for this podcast? I'd watch it eventually. I'd let it go to the end of the season before I watched it all and binged it, paid attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not telling a story. They're just showing you. They're throwing flashcards of mutants at you. Oh, look, remember this one? Remember this one? They're not telling a good story. So, like, and it sucks because they're giving the opportunity. And then for people that aren't, so people that are in love with those old stories, they're gonna be like, "This is the best part of my story, and I didn't get to hear the rest of the story. I wanted to see that." But people that don't know those stories are gonna sit down and go, "Man, a lot of crazy stuff happened in the show, but wasn't that memorable? So, whatever."
Yeah.
So, like, you're gonna throw away a year of Claremont's writing over like 2 scenes in a cartoon? That's not fair. So they could have let it really breathe. And it's funny you said the thing about the voice acting, because I feel like it was wildly inconsistent. Some characters I'm locked in. I'm like, yep, that feels like the character. Some characters, like, who cast that and what wall is he playing to? Because the guy they had playing Cable, no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just it. Like I'm not trying to dogpile on it, but like, I felt like the voice acting was inconsistent. I don't love the animation style, but more so than the animation style, some of the designs for the characters, like Cable, I don't like it's like they took what he was on the page and like misunderstood it. Like, why is he got like
the black spot?
It looks like he's got weed tattooed over his eye. Like he's got a weed leaf over his eye. So like,
yeah, it's weird the face they gave him.
Yeah, I mean, and like the voice that they gave him, and we should probably we both given our opinions. Why don't we break there? We're running along anyways,
okay.
And then we're gonna go. We can go ahead into spoilers. But before we do that, we should definitely give a thanks to our Patreon.
You can always check us out on Patreon, where we post each episode and update so you always know what is going on with the show. If you like the show and you want to help us keep the lights on while you are there, you can become patron. For as low as $2 a month, you can become a league member, and that will give you access to exclusive pre-show and post-show content each week, as well as the retro movie reviews. Or for just a little bit more, at $5 a month, you can become a Power League member, getting free show, post-show, retro reviews, a discount code for our merch store, and a producer credit in each and every episode. That's patreon.com/Secret Identities. Put it in your search bar, look for it in the show notes, or find it with the rest of our links with our Linktree QR code.
And
thanks again.
If you want to check it, yes, thank you, Hazy Eyed Girl, as our Power League member for 6 weeks in a row. That's 2 months solid, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, and thank you for tolerating our long-winded conversations. And we're glad to have you with us. We're glad to have all of you with us. All right.
Yes,
we are going to move into spoilers. So beyond this point, if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes of the second season of X-Men 97, you might want to check out. If you do, come back and listen to us later. It's just going to be valid into. And thank you for spending your time listening to us, I guess.
Tell us some of your favorite X-Men movies, even the spinoffs, the Wolverine movies, in that whole universe. Tell us what you like, what castings you like, what story decisions they decided to riff off. Because remember, in those X-Men and Wolverine movies, the whole combination, they pulled from the comics as well, in which the origins or which characters they decided to use and what versions of those characters. Because remember, guys, when you're reading these comics, and then they're going to these movies and making it to the cinematic universe or animated universe, they are so many different incarnations of these characters that they decide to use. I mean, there's been several different takes on Wolverine, several different takes on Cyclops, several different takes on Professor X and Magneto and the Storms and the Jubilees. So, again, is it fun being a writer or director and picking on which ones you're going to use because you can't please everybody? But getting into that aspect of what qualities you want to use in building these characters for the cinematic or animated universes is not an easy job, especially when you got a IP that's been around for so long and you got so much source material. I mean, what was good, what was bad, and what's going to make it less confusing when you get there. So in this day and age, but I mean, that's subjects for more episodes when we come up. But please comment, like, subscribe, let us know what you liked about the X-Men 97 season so far. New episodes on Wednesdays, and tell us more about the movies and the spinoffs and cartoon and the comics. What were your favorite X-Men comic books and storylines? We'd love to hear from you guys, and we do read every comment and involve it and put it into our discussions throughout the week. So we're thinking about you guys. We appreciate all the love. Jody, you got anything?
No.
Cool.
I think we've established everything I need to say, including the best Nick Fury.
The best Nick Fury, the best Cable. Yeah, all of those. Cable. So, and the best Cyclops. Yeah, best Cyclops.
Which is best known for his role in Superman
Returns. Superman don't come back no more. That's what it should have been called. That's just my baby daddy.
All right,
who
guys.
that is?
We'll see you next week. It's another long one, Telly.
Thanks again for joining us. If you like what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't, let us know how we can do better. If you know someone else who might like us, please share. Help us boost the signal. For audio only, they can find us on Spotify by searching for Secret Identities Podcast. Or for full video, tell them they can find us on YouTube at Secret Identities-Pod. And of course, every episode is free to listen on Patreon at www.patreon.com/secretidentities. We also share clips of the show occasionally on Instagram at secret_identities_media or on TikTok at secret_identities_pod. Be sure to check out those socials. Drop us a like, give us a follow, turn on notifications. That way you will always be updated so you never miss an episode. Can look out for our streaming schedule or just see some of the news and funnies that we share throughout the week. And don't forget to please follow us or subscribe wherever you are listening from.